If you are someone who likes the idea of journaling but does not know where to begin and how to begin, then this video is for you. I know this feeling because I have been there, staring at the blank page, trying to brainstorm ideas just because I wanted to write something about my own life. So hello everyone, this is Kriti. Welcome back to my channel once again, and in today's video I'm going to take you through my own personal journals, the ones that have helped me record my life in my own way, although I'm someone who does not like to document my life on a daily basis. So the first diary that I'm going to talk to you about is this one. You might have seen it in my previous video. I have written a letter to 2025 in this diary, and I'm bringing it before you because this is something that helped me understand how powerful it is to be emotionally honest in your writing. Initially, when I started writing, I would always have this third person voice in my head, so I would always try to filter out my thoughts before it went down into writing. I would always check whether my sentences are grammatically correct, whether I'm morally, I'm writing things that are morally acceptable, or whether it is, presentable. So when I started writing in this diary, I told myself that I need to keep it private, and this is just going to be me and my diary, and that really changed everything for me. Writing in this diary felt more like a therapy. It felt very cathartic because I would pour out my feelings in such a manner that it would come out to be so raw. For someone who's beginning to write today, I would encourage you all to keep diaries like this, keep a journal, something like this, where you can really be true to your feelings and jot down whatever your thoughts are at the moment. This is my suggestion to all the beginners or those who have been trying to journal, that your feelings, your writings do not have to be perfect. They do not have to be poetic, right? It just needs to be you. It just needs, your emotions and feelings and thoughts. My second journal is this cute peach color diary that I got from my father, and this has a story too, because even before I started this channel, I was planning on what kind of contents I would create, and one such idea was reading out letters from around the world written by, different authors. I would be the characters and read it out in my channel. It sounded very beautiful to my head, but when I wrote it down in this diary, and when I was analyzing it, I got to realize that I'm not a very consistent reader. I wanted to name the series Letters from Around the World. So later on I gave up the idea, but that's okay because the idea still sits here. It is still alive in this journal, and when I finally began this channel, I came back here again and again, wrote down few ideas. Some I got to execute through some videos and the contents that you might watch, and some are still there waiting for me for the perfect time to get back to it. So if you are someone who feel like giving up on your dream because you think that you're not enough, then write it down, save it in your journals, because creativity does not need discipline. Sometimes it just needs a safe place to be and wait for you for the right time. And that safe place is this diary for me, because it has saved all of my ideas that I thought I would abandon, and it is a reminder that nothing is ever truly gone if you cared enough to write it down. My third journal that I was very excited to show you is this junk journal. I got this in 2023 and I have been filling it till today. And there's one last there is one last page left for me to fill, and after that we're done with it. But look at how bulky it is. I have such good memories with it, and this is actually a corporate office diary, but I gave it my own touch and customized it in my own way. I'll give you the pictures of it. You can see it. It is like this. It's very creatively done. I am so much in love with it. I was already a very big fan of junk journals, and my Pinterest saves are a museum of it. You can find all kinds of videos, images, and everything about junk journals or pop up journals in my Pinterest saves. And that is what inspired me to finally create my own junk journal. And since then, I have very much enjoyed the fact that I'm journaling in this manner. And I hope that it gives you some kind of encouragement, because junk journaling is so much fun. Although it's junk, it's the trash thrown away by people. You can just collect it and just paste randomly. You don't have to have a perfect picture in your head. You just need to begin somewhere, and then you'll get this perfectly combined, creative and beautiful pages that you would like to flip again and again throughout your life. I am so happy that I finally decided to do my junk journal. And it is also very symbolic, and also a realization for me that somebody's trash could be turned into something so beautiful, something so vibrant and creative. And that is why I think journal is very important, because it also helps you calm your mind. Whenever I feel like there is some days I feel very unproductive, I feel like I have not been doing much, and at those times I like to come back here, sit down, and just take out my junk collection that I'm going to show you. I have put a lot of junks on here, like papers, old cards. This one is that I really love to show to people. I also have pop-up journal, pop-up things in between, like this. This one is the last one that I made. I have written a line over here that I want to read it out to you, because I thought that it's poetic and it's something profound. So just hear me out. The irony about life is that it is long enough to have regrets and short enough to never get to live a moment twice. And over here I have also added, so let your past be a lesson for you to move forward. And if you are here, this cannot be the end. You've got to see what future holds. This is me and a small bouquet over here. So my fourth journal is not a recent one, but it's from my school days, my hostel era, back in 2016. So why it is important is because it has so much of memories. I think it holds more memories than the pages in here. Back then, like I said already, I was not a fan of journaling on a daily basis. So what I did was I journaled in like real time. So when I started writing, I would just mention the time first. For example, right now there's still 5 minutes more left for the clocks to strike 12, or for the clock to strike 8. Or I would mention what my friends were doing. By looking at them, whatever they were doing at the moment, I would just write it down. My friend so and so has a novel underneath her maths book, and she's reading it right now, and nobody has noticed it yet, something like that. So these small moments that I thought was just ordinary or something not worth recording, but I did write it down anyways, and I'm very thankful to myself that I did, because sometimes when I go back to those pages and just read it out, I feel the presence of my friends. I could hear their voices when we were so young, and I could also read my own mind when I was younger, and my thoughts about how I felt, how I thought at that point of time. And I think that's the magic of journaling, that these small moments that you feel like it's very ordinary, that it's very common or not worth recording, is actually something that will make you feel like that will just make you feel grateful later on, because it is just like recording videos but in a better way. So for all young aspiring writers who are willing to journal and they are, looking for inspiration. I think this is pretty much of an inspiration because this is from 2016 and today is 2026, which is 10 years of gap is there, and 10 years before whatever I thought is there in this diary. And my, it has recorded all those moments, beautiful moments and the sad ones, and things that I would have forgotten if I would not have written it down here in this diary. And the fifth journal that I want to show you is from the year 2026. This is also a corporate office journal, but I really liked the cover of it, and on the inside it had few details that I did not need, so I just cut it out and replaced it with A4 size paper, simple A4 size paper, and then used some color papers to decorate it with. As you can see, I have written the year 2026 over here and just colored it. On the other side, you can see that there is an envelope in which I am going to write a letter for myself, the January version of me, for which I'm going to read by the end of the year. And if you turn the page over, you can see that there is a blank space in here. It's written Kriti's journal. There is a blank space that I want to fill out by pasting my current picture. And on the other side, there is goals for 2026, which I want to achieve, and it's there in the mug. You can just pull it out and you can add some more if you want. And if you flip the page, you come to my favorite section. These are doodles that I made yesterday from these are also inspired from Pinterest. And if you open it, there is a space for book reviews. This is very important for me because this year I have planned on reading many books, and for that this book review is going to help me a lot. So we have a space here. Now the rest of the pages are still untouched, and I am going to fill it in the course of time. So for those of you watching me till here, I would like to recommend you all to get yourself a diary. It doesn't have to be a fancy one. It can be a corporate office journal like mine, or you can just use any kind of copies. You can use simple copies as well that you can use as your journal, and just start writing a single sentence today, and maybe by the end of the year you will be able to fill lots and lots of pages. So with that, we've come to the end of this little tour of my journals. They might be imperfect and very emotional, but they are deeply mine. And for those of you who are still struggling to find an idea to start your journal, I will be giving you some prompts by the end of the video. Kindly pause the video and you can jot down the prompts so that you can start your journal writing this year. I also want you to remember that journal writing does not have a particular set of rules that you must follow. There is no strict restrictions to it. So you can make your own creative journal in your own way, because this is your story and nobody can write it better than you do in your own way. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great year ahead.